Hey, you! Put your hands up and do the monkey! Hey, hey. uh. Yes. Yes, basically, that is it in a nutshell. And we are continuing on. Hi, Todger fan. Thank you. Thank you for the bits. So, move over so the freaking logo isn't on your face. Let's return to the game. There.
There's no way out of here.
Okay. Oh, there's a creepy... Oh, it's Cortez. Shit.
All the time I spent trying to get into the theater, he could have just quietly walked out to meet me. I feel like kicking the guy.
Let's go do it. Let's go kick him. First of all, let's go run.
Just not for you. It's getting closer. They will be here soon. Soon enough. Bastards. Why are you so? Do you have any reason to be happy?
You have no idea what I went through to find you. First...
Do you like movies?
Sure. Who doesn't? Wait a second. I was trying to tell you that...
I don't much like modern movies myself. They're either too loud and expensive or too obscure and self-indulgent. But old movies, really old movies, have a charm and a simplicity that appeals to me.
Listen, please don't interrupt me again. It's starting to piss me off.
But I have never interrupted you, unless I've had something important to say, of course. But go ahead. What is it you wanted to talk about?
Why did you make me search all over the city for you?
Search for me? I've been here for hours, señorita. I haven't moved. The question ought to be, what made you go out of your way to find me?
We agreed to meet.
We agreed to meet this morning, remember?
As I remember it, there was no agreement. I said tomorrow, but you refused. I assumed you weren't interested. I apologize for making myself unavailable, however.
Okay, now he's just being super
Don't
vague and
give me
annoying.
that. You wanted me to come looking for you again.
Actually, no, I had to lay low for a few hours.
Does it have anything to do with the cop that was staking this place out?
Yeah. So it was a good thing I didn't stick my head out the door to look for you then, no?
He's gone now. Are you in some kind of trouble with the police? Wait, don't tell me. Immigration.
Okay.
No, señorita. Not the police. There are bigger players than the police.
I don't want to know. I'm not getting mixed up with the mob or gangs or anything like that.
There's not much you want to be mixed up in at all, is there?
My life's complicated enough as it is, Mr. Cortez. I don't even know what I'm doing here.
Answers. You want, you need answers.
You keep telling me that, but you never give me any answers. Just more questions. Like, who's out to get you? What's going on with me? How come you know so much about me?
I plan to answer all your questions today, April. By the time you go to sleep tonight, your world will have changed, and nothing will ever be the same.
Is that a threat?
You're just being cryptic again. It's like soap opera sex. Lots of boring dialogue, and when they finally go to bed, everything's dark and covered by blankets.
You want the full Monty then? Come with me. Come outside. No more talk.
Oh
I will show you the truth.
What is happening? Oh, what is happening? Watch this be like...
This is probably as good a place as any. At least there's no one around to see, except rats.
To see what?
Stand back, señorita.
What for? What are you doing?
Why, Alice, I'm sending you through the looking glass.
Well then.
What? What is that? Please tell me it's a hologram.
It's a mirror to reflect your dreams.
I don't see anything, just light.
Oh, you have to step through.
Step through that? Oh no, I don't think so.
This is the moment of decision, April. All time, past and present, revolves around this moment. The destiny of worlds is in your hands.
Why mine? Why don't you save
But
everybody?
You must make the choice on your own. La vida es corta. You must decide how to live it best.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what I should do.
I understand. It's a difficult decision, because whatever you do, your life will change forever. So take your time. Think about it. Don't rush into a decision you're not ready to make.
Alright, I guess we'll, talk to him.
Are you ready to step through the looking glass?
Might as well.
All right, I'll do it.
Vamos. Enter the light.
Don't say that, it sounds too ominous. Just tell me what's gonna happen.
You're about to take the first step on the longest journey of your life. But don't worry. I'll be waiting right here.
I must be insane to do this.
Yes, it's pretty much a given.
Alright, here we go.
Oh, I almost forgot. When you're ready to come back, pay a visit to a friend of mine called Westhouse, Brian Westhouse.
Oh boy. Oh god, his face looks really creepy. Oh jeez. Well then.
Child, and may the balance protect you.
Well then. That happened. Yeah, the graphics are pretty funny.
Cortez! I have a bad feeling about this.
And we're dead.
What was the name Cortez told me to remember? Westhouse? Brian Westhouse? I think that was it. Cortez said to look him up when I wanted to go home. Well, I want to go home now.
Well, this is totally a thing that ended up happening. Oh, who are you?
He looks like some kind of priest.
What is this?
Quaint. And they go with the general decor of the place. Oil lamps, or whatever their magical equivalent may be called.
It's a priest, lantern. Let's talk to you.
Hello? Hi.
Does he not talk?
Tu. Emile, tu vas.
What? Shake head.
Ne? Tu van sav ken? Tu vu ken alar? Et Tuistak mele, ithira, ton maris ton.
Sure.
Ku tu fata, sequandare, ken estare, ton. Ton. Ken it to a
They're just red, so I'm just hitting them.
Ton. Ken it to a Iram Bob Simil Quakite.
Where is Cortez?
Where's Cortez?
To tone e ken. To ken vernilia fata tim tu vermilian ton.
Familian Ton. Who are you?
Ken esang maris ortona. Magigean pose ton. Sare alvoca im iriam to e ithium.
Where am I?
Where am I?
Sankis tue. Tonan tu ken alvoch. E magican ian ton an asans.
Okay, let's see what's down here. Listen.
Aku kandi. Good. Niranton alvoch. Sank al koda magic. Torante. Salhe. Naven. All tongue.
Why the only English thing he said was good?
Al orta I beginning. Parasimtin you. You have thiesa I magic I Sara. I the knowledge. Aritua ya I tue by generations e umani. Knowledge of all tongue.
You're starting to make sense.
You're starting to make sense.
Magike. Ken en san tue. Torank e lock maris.
And now you're not. Oop. Went too far down. Listen.
Aku kandi.
Okay. Listen.
Aborta I beginning. Parasimtin you.
Okay.
Now you have allowed the magic to enter your heart, and the knowledge of all tongue, ever present but dormant, to guide your ears and your tongue.
I understand you. You speak English? Why didn't you just tell me straight away?
No, child. I do not speak English. I speak Naven, all tongue, the common language of Arcadia.
Arcadia? Wait a second. How did I get here? What is this place, and who the hell are you?
Who the hell are
My
you?
manners have abandoned me yet again. I'm afraid my preoccupation with ancient texts and the company of my fellow fathers have left me unequipped with the grace of social intercourse.
Ew, don't
Meaning
know.
what?
That I have been rude. My name, dear child, is Tobias Grensret, and I am the Vestrum of the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance. We are the fathers.
Okay. I'm April. April Ryan.
I take it this is your first shift, your first passage through the divide?
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about, but I guess this is my first shift.
Then I will explain everything. Someone must. You are without guidance, without a mentor?
Mentor? There's this guy Cortez. He assisted me, told me about magic and truth and dreams and portals. Crazy stuff. Well, it seemed crazy at the time, although now I don't.
Cortez? Ah, yes, Cortez. Very good, very good. Then come, let us proceed. Let me show you Mercuria, the grandest city of all ages.
Let's just throw us into it, because why the hell not? We have no idea what's going on, but fuck it. Let's take 7 years to actually walk to the door. Then open the door. And Dodger, I do not know what you mean by an uptime command. That's a pretty big city. Oh boy.
Explore Mercuria, April. See the sights, meet the people, and then, when you are ready, return to the temple. I will answer whatever questions you may have then.
Oh, you're literally leaving me. Okay.
The whole fountain's been carved in one piece from a granite-like material. Very impressive. Nice fountain.
What else do we got? The city.
What the hell kind of animal is that?
No idea. Let's go to the city. Oh. No, I do not have that. City gates, marketplace.
Those guys must be part of the City Watch. They look a hell of a lot more intimidating than the Newport cops, despite the lack of an exoskeleton.
The stream has been up for an hour and 42 minutes, if you're curious.
This lady's selling fresh fish. I've never seen fish like this before. But if it's wet and has fins, fish it is. This guy's selling musical instruments. Most of these I don't even recognize. But he's got a drum in there and what looks like half a guitar and a couple of dried rabbit carcasses.
Ew.
Ugh. I'm not in the market for an instrument at this particular moment. Still, good to know where to get one in case of a musical emergency.
Okay.
She's selling a variety of fresh fish.
Oh, what's this?
This guy's selling lobsters, crabs, eels, and... what the hell is that purple thing? That is so not appetizing.
Let's go to the docks. Ooh. Now we're getting interesting here.
Blue fire. It's either propane or magic. I'm guessing the latter.
The ship.
The size of these galleons is truly breathtaking. And there are dozens of them, not to mention a number of smaller vessels. Mercuria must be a very important and very busy port.
Okay.
Breathtaking. It's a lighthouse, much like the ones we have at home, except this one, of course, burns a blue fire. Blue fire.
Alright, we'll speed this up so we can actually walk the hell over there. There we go.
Assorted cargo. Judging by his ungainly stance, I'd say he's a mariner pining for the sea.
Okay. Let's see what he has to say.
Ahoy there, matey!
Pardon?
Isn't that how you sailors greet each other?
No.
What do you say then?
Hi.
Usually, hello. And if it's sunny, nice day for it. We might even try a "How are you today then?" if we're feeling adventurous. But never, ever, ahoy.
Whoops, sorry.
This is valuable information.
Aye, matey, that it be.
Why aren't you at sea?
Why aren't you out at sea?
Do you see the sail on that barge over there?
Yes.
Is it flapping?
What?
Is it flapping? Is the sail flapping in the wind?
No.
And why is that then?
Because there's no wind.
Because it's not windy?
Exactly.
Well, can't you just use oars or something?
Oh, what an excellent idea. Now, why didn't we think of that? Of course. Oars! By Jaw's stunted left arm, that's it. Why have we been moored to the dock for a month with our merchandise dropping in value when we could have just rowed our way to Gien?
Are you being sarcastic?
Sarcastic? Me? What in Jaw's name makes you think that?
Okay, he's kind of a dick. He could have just been like, are you new here? Oh, yeah. And we need wind to sail, but...
How long's it been since the last wind?
Near a month. Ever since that accursed alchemist put some kind of spell on the wind. The Moja'll be cursed if I know why. But it's a bloody catastrophe. I've sent some good people of mine up north to deal with him. But not one has returned. Now the Areed High Council speak of sending an entire army platoon to sort him out. But I'm afraid that just might piss him off.
And who's the alchemist?
Who's this alchemist who cast a spell on the wind?
I believe his name is Clax. Roper Clax.
Roper Clax.
Lives in a bloody rock
What a
somewhere up north
frickin'
beyond
name.
Riverwood.
Thanks for the chat.
Aye.
Gotta go find a guy named Roper Clax.
It's a small ship or boat. I don't know the difference. Is there a difference?
The city...
It's a small ship.
Da, 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 da.
It's a sailor. Nice day for it.
Not really, no.
Bye.
Damn, fucked it up.
How are you today then?
Like you care.
Wow.
Bye.
Okay, so he's miserable, not talking to him anymore. Wait, what does that say? Blue flame.
Breathtaking.
Okay. Wait, was there a thing to do back here? Hang on, I did not look. No, there wasn't. Oop. I clicked outside of the window. Okay.
He's selling a variety of fresh shellfish and other. The walls look ancient. Arcadia must be at least as old as anything back in the real... in my world.
The walls, the walls, the walls, the walls, the walls of Jericho. Do I need an instrument?
It's kind of unsettling to be so aware of myself all the time. I'm not in the market for an instrument at this particular moment. Still, good to know where to get one.
Okay. Pier, the city gates, the marketplace. Let's go to the stalls.
That's a particularly sleazy-looking merchant. I wonder what he's selling. What a sorry-looking bird.
Hey, you don't look too polished yourself, lady.
Oops, I didn't know you could talk.
Didn't look as if you could talk either.
Wow, okay, the bird talks.
In a world without the screen, that's what passes for entertainment. And it's pretty darn good. My intuition tells me
Maps!
that he sells maps.
Let's talk to the map guy first.
Maps, I got maps. Can I interest you in a map, miss? Top-notch, hand-drawn in quality ink by skilled sunwriters. Ain't no better in all the Northlands.
How much are your maps?
How much are your maps?
That depends, miss. I got a very nice one here of the border mountains for only 6. Aaron's fresh from the quill of a sunwriter. Maps, get your maps here.
Do you sell maps of the city?
Can't help you there, miss. The Guild of Tourism has monopoly on city maps. I can tell you're not from around here, or you'd know that. Got tons of maps of all the Northlands, though, from the city of Tyron to the Bay of Fire. Maps!
The Guild of Tourism?
Where can I find the Guild of Tourism?
They're closed for the holidays.
That's
Sure, that makes sense.
what holiday is it that they are closed for?
Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Yes, maps!
Do you know Vestrum Tobias?
Everyone knows Vestrum Tobias, girl. He's been an important part of this city for as long as I can remember.
What can you tell me about him?
The Vestrum is an honorable man, but a conservative one, and I don't know if he still has the best interests of the people at heart. Sometimes I think he worries too much about custom. The Sentinel have been our so-called protectors and keepers of the balance for so long we don't even think of it anymore. But now that the Vanguard are introducing a new way of thinking, new philosophies, I'm afraid the Sentinel will find their power diminished before too long. Their resistance to change will be their downfall. Mark my words, their downfall for certain. And Tobias, honorable man that he is, will be remembered as the captain who went down with his ship.
How do you get along with your neighbors?
Oh, was this one of his
The
neighbors?
Cups handler? Stay away from him, miss. He takes great joy in robbing people's purses. You can't beat him, not without magic. And he doesn't allow magic at his table.
How would he know if I did use magic?
Oh, he's got one of those blasted talismans. They're always digging up magical artifacts in Shagagriel, and they sell them to dogs like him for a silver coin or two. Get
Okay.
a proper job, you son of a mole!
What do you know about Stark?
Land of wonders, strange customs, and machinery. Ah, to be in Stark. I'd give my right leg. Well, perhaps not my right leg as such. You really need 2 sturdy legs to stand on in this business, or you'll find yourself... yes, a grand place indeed, free of this blasted, chaotic, unpredictable magic. Does no good to anyone. Now, machines built by man, controlled by man, in servitude of man. That's the future, isn't it?
Yeah, and it kind of sucks.
Yes, the Vanguard may be a little unorthodox in their methods and teachings, but they're right about one thing. Stark and Arcadia belong together, not apart.
What's Arcadia like?
What's Arcadia like?
What can I say about a whole world, girl? It's a beautiful place for sure, but we're stuck in the past. We don't look ahead, not like our cousins in Stark. Magic is all well and good, but it won't bring our world into the modern age, and Arcadia is untamed. It's wild and unpredictable. Good for the map business, sure, but not so good for productivity and expansion. Oh, some people may consider our world a paradise. The Sentinel, for one, they prefer to keep it just the way it is. Me, I'd like to see some changes, and fast.
Thanks for your help.
Maps!
Just remember, this guy's job is going to get replaced by Google Maps. Just remember.
No maps for me today, thanks.
Fair enough, miss, but don't expect me to come running to your aid if you ever get lost in Riverwood. Without my maps, you'll probably end up a mole's dinner or worse. Maps!
Or worse. Maps. Maps. Okay.
It's a talking bird. That's a particularly sleazy looking merchant.
Let's go talk to him. See what's going on.
Want to test your skill and perception with a game of cups? There are prizes to be won.
No, thank you. What can I win?
What can I win?
Well, there's coin, of course. Double your bet or choose from a wide variety of exotic prizes. Like this antique Domari canter from Guyenne. A superb replica of Mount Tyranny cast in pure solid iron. A magic walnut from the once glorious island kingdom of Anciel.
A magic walnut?
And this, unique bird.
Get
Oh.
me out of here!
You could win the bird.
Keep your beak shut, you scraggly piece of... And he talks! Great for feasts and for the amusement of infants. He's our top prize, a real keeper.
How do I play?
How do I play?
You put your coin down on the table. I put a cup on top of it and shuffled it around with the other two cups. And all you have to do is guess which one hides your coin. And remember, no magic used and none allowed. This amulet right here will light up if you use magic. Then you'll be banned. For life.
Okay, I don't have coin though. Ask questions.
Mind if I ask you a couple of questions?
Time is money, so make it quick.
What do you know about Vestrum Tobias?
Vestron Tobias, eh? The High Priest of the Sentinel himself. Did you know they call themselves the Fathers? What a joke. When was the last time they did anything for us, the people? No. They are only interested in sticking with their outdated customs and keeping their secrets under lock. I'm getting more and more inclined to listen to these new people, the Vanguard. Their ideas appeal to me. They may be radical, but we're past due for a change. Only thing I don't wholly approve of is their alliance with the Tyrant. Filthy, dangerous people. But the Vanguard seem to have them under control, so I'm not too worried. I wish they wouldn't allow them into the city, though.
So in other words, history just literally repeats itself no matter who the heck is leading who. Everyone has some kind of objection to the fathers and the presidents and whatever. It's interesting to think about.
How do you get along with your neighbor?
The maps merchant? We've faced each other for 6 years now, every single day, and he never speaks a word to me except to insult me. Nose high in the sky, calls me a charlatan, as if he's the guardian himself. You know, good oversized bag of wind?
What about Stark?
Do you know anything about Stark?
Not much. I'm not too sure if I even believe in the place. I mean, you hear the stories and you read the books. Well, I don't, but some do. A place where there's no magic, only science? Sounds like a bloody paradise, doesn't it? I mean, with my, skills, I could make a killing in a place like that.
What's Arcadia like?
What's Arcadia like?
What a queer question that is. What's the world like? It's big, for one, and too expensive. And they should ban Dalmari women from gambling because I swear, they have a second sight.
Thanks.
Now, how about a game of cups?
But I'm broke.
Sorry, but I'm broke.
May the balance bring coin to your pocket, young lady, so that you may return to me and invest it in a game of cups.
He is pretty sleazy. Okay.
Wonder if that's supposed to be anybody in particular, or just any old head.
It's the marketplace.
It's a talking bird.
I guess that's all I can do here. Okay. And thank you, Cardinal. Fountain. There's really not much to do, is there? Guess we'll just head back. Talk to this guy again.
Excuse me, Vestrum Tobias?
Tobias. Just call me Tobias, please. I require no ceremony from a distinguished guest such as yourself. Did you enjoy the sights?
They were interesting.
I don't know. I'm overwhelmed. Walking around out there, seeing with my own two eyes things that can't possibly exist. I kept thinking, it's all a dream. I'll wake up at any moment now and everything will return to normal. But then I realized, I'm still here. It's real. I can touch it. I can smell it. And you know what? It doesn't make sense. Nothing makes sense here. Magic, alien creatures, parallel worlds. I don't believe in those things. I don't believe in fairy tales.
But you're here.
In your world,
So-
in Stark, there is no room for magic. That is and always has been the curse of science, the fallibility of logic and order. They leave no room for the imagination. If it does not fit into the narrow perception of the laws of nature that your world adheres to, it's a fairy tale. But then,
That's a good
magic
analogy.
has its downsides too. It's unpredictable. It invites chaos. It puts the balance in peril in a way that science alone never could.
I keep hearing about the balance and about Stark and Arcadia and... This is probably going to sound strange to you, but I'm clueless. I have no idea what this place is or what I'm doing here or... All I know is that something strange is happening in my world, I guess. I had dreams, and the dreams felt so real, and then things started happening in real life too. Things that couldn't happen, and
I think I will begin at the very beginning.
Oh
I
boy,
believe
it's
that
gonna
is
be a
why
long
you are sent
story.
here, to learn, to understand, to see for yourself.
Grab
Like
your
you said,
popcorn.
You cannot believe in this place. Well, you will. After you have learned the truth, you will. Come with me, and I will tell you the story of Earth as your books never have. And when your eyes and ears are open to the truth, perhaps your mind will follow. We can only hope. Come.
Kinda don't trust him. Don't know why.
This is the true story of the balance, as observed by the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance, the Fathers. The Sentinel Minstrom committed this story to the pages of the scriptures and to these temple walls thousands of years ago. so that coming generations could learn and understand their past and their future. The wall paintings we are looking at became known as the Murals of the Balance, and it is through these images that I will recount our common history to you, April Ryan. The story begins and ends here, with this mural. Ages ago and in ages to come, the Earth was one, and magic and science existed side by side in nature and in all people. There was balance, and there was harmony.
You're saying there was just one world then?
One world, one Earth. Magic and science in balance with each other, within each and every living creature. The power to make the stars dance and to create life itself was within our grasp. But then, humankind began to exploit this divine power of two, and they saw fit to use it for their own selfish purposes. The balance of the cosmos was in peril.
They were robbing banks with it. Totally. Stealing from the poor and all that shit.
Unless something was done, unless man was humbled and learned to fear the power he wrought over cosmos, the Twilight of Chaos would fall upon Earth. It had happened before, in distant times and on distant worlds, and it would happen again. And every man, woman, and child of every people and every race would be devoured by the coming apocalypse.
I love the voice acting.
We were given a visitation then. The Drag Kin, having lived among us for untold generations, rose to offer their guidance and assistance in preserving the balance on our world.
I think it's pretty spot on with all these characters. Oh, now I'm moving. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm just walking. Okay, cool.
The Drag? I think I've heard that name before.
Drag Kin, Draken, Dragons, whichever name they go by, they remain the eternal servants and custodians of the balance. There were 4 of them here on Earth, and of the 4, one who would found the Order of the Balance, the Sentinel. The first Minstrum were instructed that magic and science would have to be separated before the balance collapsed and brought untold disaster. Earth would have to be split in 2 equal parts. Arcadia and Stark, magic and science, chaos and order. The First Sentinel were counted 13, 6 scientists, 6 magicians, and one who was between, the Drag Kin, our mentor, our custodian, our learned guide. Both magic and science were needed to perform this most difficult of tasks. To split a world in 2, to create 2 worlds from one.
Wasn't the use of that kind of power dangerous to the balance?
Yes, and so for this purpose, they built a tower to channel their powers and focus them on the divide that they would create. The Kin had brought a disc with them, a disc forged in the fire of their world. Placed at the base of the tower, and the epicenter of the divide, the disc and the tower would become one, a conduit for the flow of magic and science. At the appointed hour, the 13 came to the tower, and with them a woman, whose destiny was decided by the purpose to which she had been born. She would be the first guardian, the human protector of the balance, who would stay in the tower for 1,000 years to watch over the 2 worlds, and to ensure that the flows of magic and science were always equal. And so the ritual began.
I'm not going to
world
remember
was
any of
to
this
become
later.
2, separated by the balance, and each world visible to the other only by way of dreams. Who was ushered into which world was not an arbitrary choice, nor one taken lightly. For the magical creatures, the choice was simple. They had to go to Arcadia. Their kind would not survive in Stark. But for others, families were torn apart, lovers separated and friends lost for all eternity.
That kind of sucks.
Encircled by the 12 and the one who would be guardian, the disk at the base of the tower began to spin faster and faster as more and more power flowed through it, until it was a blur. Darkness enveloped the tower, but the disk glowed brighter and brighter. Reality turned, and in one moment, a new reality had been created and 2 new worlds born. In the tower there was silence. The original disk had disappeared, and in its place was a smaller counterpart, a similar yet different disk. Around and outside the tower, the world looked different. They were now between Stark and Arcadia, between reality and dream. This was the realm of the Balance and of the Guardian, and it would be her home for the next 1,000 years. The one who was kin picked up the disk and said, "This disk is a counterpart to the original disk, which has now become this realm, and the key to which has been split and divided in 4. The key is the disk, and the disk is this realm." This mystified the 12, and the one who was kin continued, "Know only this. The Guardian's realm cannot be broken unless the disk is broken. But nor can it be repaired without the disk being repaired. The 4 pieces, that is the key, will be given to the 6 of you who are to be taken to Arcadia for safekeeping. Yet the key will never be complete," he went on, "without the precious stones that adorn each piece. I will keep 1, and my fellow kin the 3 others. Should the day come when this realm must be repaired, or the worlds reunited, and that day will come, you will assemble the disk, and the kin will come together one last time." With that, 6 of the 13 went to Arcadia, and 6 to Stark, and the one who would be guardian ascended to the throne. Witness the mural, where her dreams and hopes, her very soul, were locked away in the disk. In service of the Balance, these traits were nothing but barriers. Through new eyes, the imbalance between the worlds was as clear as the stars themselves to the Guardian, and with one thought, she channeled chaos from Arcadia and logic from Stark into the disk, and redistributed the power wherever it was needed. A new era had begun, the era of the Guardian. After they left the tower, 2 of the Drakkin went to Stark, the other 2 to Arcadia. The 6 who came to each world started what is now known as the Sentinel, the Order of the Balance. But while in Arcadia the Sentinel thrived, in Stark they did not. In Stark, the memories of magic and the balance could not survive in the face of the new reality of natural laws, of logic, and of science. And soon, very soon, Arcadia became nothing more than legend, a myth, tales of fairies to recount to impressionable children, and stories to frighten and entertain around a fire. And while dreams still brought sights and sounds of Arcadia to those asleep in Stark, they were discounted as mere dreams and nothing more.
So that's it? We forgot about our past and about Arcadia? And that's the way things are? Then what's wrong with that? And why does magic from Arcadia seem to have begun leaking through to Stark?
That is another long story. But I can tell that you are tired of stories, and so I shall be brief.
Thank you.
As I told
Dear
you,
God.
while in Arcadia, the Sentinel grew in numbers and in strength. In Stark, while flourishing for a brief time, they were soon diminished and powerless. Some of the Stark Sentinel did not take kindly to this, and they berated the Arcadian Sentinel for their politics and teachings. The Stark Sentinel wanted people to work towards reunification, while their brothers did not. So the inevitable soon came to pass, and the Stark Sentinel parted ways with their Arcadian brothers, and named themselves the Vanguard. And while at first their philosophy was not so different from ours, over the years it changed radically. The Vanguard wanted the divide torn down, the worlds reunited, and the return to what they called the Glorious Ages, when humankind could control the forces of cosmos. But first they needed their own servant in charge of the balance, their own guardian. Now, every 1,000 years, a new guardian took the place of the old one, because no one can be separated from their souls for any longer than 1,000 years.
Ah, that's what it comes down to.
Every 1,000 years, a new guardian was born. The balance provided the seed from which a new fruit grew. But now, it has been 200 years since the previous guardian, the 12th guardian, was to be replaced. Every new child born to the balance has been taken away by the Vanguard to be studied in an attempt to control them. In every instance so far, they have failed. But the 12th guardian could wait no longer. Only a short time ago, the disk in the tower shattered, and the guardian left his throne. The balance is now untended, and we have yet to find a new guardian. Unless we do so, the Vanguard may get their chance. And they may be able to place their own puppet on the throne, to rule the balance according to their principles. And this we cannot allow. It will mean the end of Stark and Arcadia, and the dawn of an era of chaos. Now do you see?
Yeah.
I understand the history. I can even accept it. But I don't understand why I'm here and what Cortez wants.
You're the guardian.
The balance is in peril, April. The guardian has abandoned his tower. He has disappeared, and there is no one to take his place. He must be reinstated to protect the balance until a new guardian may be found.
And what can I do? I'm nobody. I've just been having a lot of bad dreams.
You are a strong shifter. I have not seen your like in my lifetime.
A shifter?
Someone capable of opening doors between worlds. A shift. A portal between the realms of Stark and Arcadia.
Are you kidding? I didn't do anything. Cortez was the one who opened the shift, and he just waved his hands around in the air. I don't think I'd be capable of opening a portal even if I had a magic wand.
Only a shifter's own power can allow her to travel. No one else can do this for her. Cortez only channeled your power to aid you. He would not be able to step through the shift himself.
Even if that's true, I don't have any control over my talent.
Not yet. But in time you will. How else do you intend to travel back to your world?
God, I hadn't even thought about that yet. Can't you help me?
I'm afraid not. Even if I could shift, I would not be able to channel through you like Cortez did.
So, I'm on my own?
If you have any questions, I will do my best to answer them. But aside from that, yes. Yes, you are.
That's so not cool.
No, it has been unseasonably warm.
Oh, God.
If you don't mind, I will return to my studies now. Thank you for listening to an old man and his long stories.
No, thank you. It's starting to make a little bit of sense now.
That is good news. Come see me again if you have any more questions.
Okay, so to dumb all of that down that we heard, there are two worlds, Stark and Arcadia. Stark is Earth, where April Ryan is from, and Arcadia is the world that she's been warped into thanks to Cortez. And the third, I don't know if it's a realm or whatever, but the third piece is basically the balance, and the person who is in charge of adjusting and shifting and maintaining the balance between these two worlds quit his job And now they're looking for a replacement so that way things don't pour into one world or the other. And if they don't find a replacement, then they have to subject to the vanguards taking over, which are bastards, and they don't want them to take over the position. So we are here. And April Ryan is potentially, probably, maybe, the next Guardian, and might take over the realm because of her shifting abilities. But that's just hypothetically speaking about that. Whew, let's April's diary. Let's read about this. In Arcadia, is it still Saturday? Do they even have Saturdays here? And why am I not screaming and frothing and tearing my hair out when I obviously should be? When confronted with the impossible, isn't your mind supposed to just snap? Perhaps because I've had so many vivid dreams about, okay, now I don't even know if dreams is the right word anymore. Visions, perhaps? Or even better, premonitions? That's in keeping with the theme of this place. Magic. Oh yeah, magic. Apparently, I'm simply supposed to accept without question that magic does exist, which is impossible, but clearly not impossible though, because here, there is magic, wherever here is. I've written more on the next page. Still, in the face of all the strangeness, I feel normal, for some weird, inexplicable reason, and even though I've still to wrap my head around the concept, I accept this place. It feels comfortingly familiar in a distant, hazy way. And even though I want to go home, like right now, I'm not panicky, not at all, just a little bit. Oh, and I should write that name down before I forget it. Brian Westhouse. That's the last thing Cortez told me to visit. Brian Westhouse whenever I wanted to go home. I've just been told the story of balance by Vestrum Tobias, what a name. And I figured I should write this down while I still remember bits and pieces of it. Talk about cryptic history. Tobias lost me somewhere around the 12 and the 1. Like, excuse me, what? But I think I got the gist of it. There are two worlds. One is Stark, the world of science, what I call Earth, and then there's Arcadia, the world of magic, what people here call Earth. Two Earths, then, which gets a little confusing, but not half as confusing as what came after. A long, long time ago, there was just one Earth, and the Earth had both magic and science. But mankind has always had a habit of screwing things up, and this is why they did the original Earth. They got too powerful, learned how to move stars and be gods by combining the powers of magic and science. So an alien race called the Drake Kin decided to interfere and prevent mankind from destroying their own world. Because we're selfish, greedy little frickin' bastards. One of the so-called kin founded this religious movement called the Sentinel, or the Fathers, who are self-appointed watchers over the balance between magic and science. The Sentinel were instrumental in dividing the Earth into two dimensions, Stark and Arcadia, science and magic. They also put a woman in charge of controlling and channeling the balance between the two worlds, a guardian of the balance, who lives in the tower in some sort of in-between realm, and who's replaced every 1,000 years by a new guardian. So then life goes on for like thousands of years until the Sentinel starts squabbling internally, and the Sentinel priests and Stark decide to break with their Arcadian friends and found this new cult or whatever called the Vanguard. The Vanguard want the worlds reunited, and they plan to do this by controlling the Guardian himself or herself. This is what they've been doing for a few hundred years now, destroying potential Guardians by performing experiments on them or something. My hand is starting to cramp up. I'm amazed I even remember half of this. Anyway, the current Guardian couldn't stay any longer, and he left his tower in the middle of nowhere. And now the balance is in danger. Apparently, Chaos can really do some serious damage to both Stark and Arcadia, which does remind me of my dream. I'm not sure that's the right word anymore. With the black chaos thingy, the vortex that attacked me. That's probably a sign of what's going to happen if somebody doesn't do something to save the balance. And I'm sensing this coming on because that's how it always goes in these things. That somebody is me. Well, at least she knows what to expect. Apparently, I'm a strong shifter. Somebody has to find the Guardian, get him back in the tower to save the balance, and then do something about the Vanguard, get them to see that they're screwing with things they shouldn't be screwing with. Hey, easy. I do that kind of stuff before breakfast. Oh my god. So, yeah, that's, whew. Hello, Dead Anthony. How are you? I did translate that in about 60 seconds. Like, hands down was just like, that's it. That's it. But we've been going on for a little while now, and before I get heavily involved into Arcadia, I think we're going to stop now, and we're going to pick this up next time, which will be Thursday, I think. Probably Thursday that we will pick this up. So, hi, Hikaru. I'm sorry. Yeah, John's birthday is tomorrow night, so I'm streaming tonight because I can't be here tomorrow on the normal Tuesdays. So, yeah, sorry. But if you guys stayed and watched this and yeah, monkeys, movie theaters, and ooze candy, and there's a lot. There is a lot. But I've been streaming for about 2.5 hours, so I'm going to call it. And we'll pick this up on Thursday and explore a little bit more of Arcadia and figure out what the hell to frickin' do.